Hello and welcome to the pre-show of the pre-show live at Sime Darby Malaysia LPGA 2016. Michael O'Dwyer here with you and the wonderful Kate Burton. Hi.
How exciting to be here on the eve of the 7th edition of this championship, and what a treat we have in store this week.
Certainly do, and it's so good to be back here, isn't it? There's so many wonderful things that happen during this week.
Oh, there's so much going on, not just on the golf course with the world-class golf, but off it as well. So certainly when the last putt drops, the courtyard behind us certainly comes alive. Music, dancing, have you got some new dance moves this year?
Yeah, well, you told me last year my dancing was in the 1960s, so I've been working on it in the off-season. I've got a couple that I might show you.
Okay, we could be into the 70s.
We might rocket into the 70s. Some good players, well, all really good players here this week also.
Exceptional players. We have the top three in the money list competing this week in Lydia Ko, Arya Jutanagan and Brooke Henderson. And Arya being the oldest, she's ever so old, she's 20.
20 years of age.
Wow, and between them, not far off $6 million. $5 million between them. Not bad for a season's earnings.
Indeed, and I tell you what, we've seen some great champions here in the past too, haven't we? Some really good returning ones, but ones that you may have forgotten about as well.
Yes, certainly. And when you think about the inception of this tournament back in 2010, when Jimin Kang, who really was an unlikely winner, emerged victorious, it was just a 3-round total, but finishing with a 65 to clench victory over one of your favourites.
Oh, the great Julie Inkster, Hall of Famer, 7-time major winner. What a player. And in 2011, Na-Yeon Choi, and she defeated Yani Tseng.
Yes, and that was when Yani Tseng was in her halcyon days of winning everything. So a wonderful victory for Na-Yeon Choi there, round of 68 to seal the deal in 2011.
Na-Yeon back here again this week, and she was runner-up the year after to this lady, Inbee Park, the gold medalist from the Olympics this year, and Inbee's caddy, Brad Beecher, well, he's working for us this week.
Yes, he's taken a significant pay cut to join the ranks of TV, but we are thrilled to have Brad join us. But Inbee, a very worthy champion, and it's sad that she's not here with us this week. She's injured, but we went on then to 2013 with Lexi Thompson from the United States. It was an emphatic victory. She won by 4 over Shan Feng, and what a terrific win it was indeed for Lexi.
Absolutely, and just showed what a great player she is and will be for sure. And then Shan, well, she just went that one better after the runner-up in 2013 and won in 2014. Here's a putt you'd like for a win, wouldn't it?
Well, and how about that? That was a putt as well for a round of 63 in the final round to beat Pornanon-Patlin by 3. Disappointing finish for Pornanon-Patlin, who had her chances, but Shan Feng, what a champion she is.
Absolutely, and what about last year, Kate? Look at the crowd there behind us where we are in our live app position. Jessica Korda, the winner.
And she came into this tournament really not knowing how she was hitting the ball at all. She finished with 2 rounds of 65. The emotion you could see on her face, it hadn't been a good season. She capped it off quite brilliantly.
And Shan was in a group of runners up there as well with Stacey Lewis and Lydia Ko. What a performance. They're our past winners at the Sime Darby LPGA Malaysia. Who's going to win it this year, Kate?
Well, I mean, last week we had the CIMB Classic and Justin Thomas successfully defended his crown. So Jessica Korda is back, and she was runner-up last week in Blue Bay. So she's good. Yeah,
it comes into it with form. And speaking of form, well, we've got a couple of people that you will see all week at Live At. Warren Smith and, of course, the wonderful Alison Whittaker.
Hi everybody, and welcome to the 2016 Sime Darby LPGA tournament here at the very beautiful TPC Kuala Lumpur. What a course this is, with a back nine that lends itself to so much drama, and I think we'll see plenty of drama by the time we get to Sunday afternoon to work out who is going to be this year's champion. This is week 5 on the Asian swing on the LPGA Tour, and Ali Whittaker has been along for most of it. Well, it's been a fascinating 4 weeks so far.
It really has, and you know, the girls really burst out of the gates at Rainwood. We saw so much good golf that week, and it was just such a great start to what's an exciting part of the year. You know, limited fields, everyone's out here to make some money and go down the stretch, and we've had big hitting winners, we've had great final rounds, we've had, you know, great players tee to green, all winning, and this week it's going to be, you know, it's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top. We've got a great field.
You mentioned big hitters. Of course, our defending champion here at TPC Kuala Lumpur is Jessica Korda, who almost got across the line, only beaten by Minjee Lee in China last week. Can she defend?
Well, last time when she came here, she actually was coming into a pretty bad run of form. She'd had a ton of missed cuts. She had a withdrawal. She wasn't in form. She came out. She shot 2 final round 65s. And then, you know, it was something that really boosted her year. She wasn't having the best year at that point in time. This year, however, she's coming in hot off a second place finish, and I think, well, she's coming in with some confidence under her belt.
Yeah, outside of our defending champion, what about the battle between a trio of youngsters? Lydia Ko, of course, she's done so much in the world of golf already. Aria Jatanagarn has taken 2016 literally by storm. And Brooke Henderson, this young 19-year-old Canadian. What a battle it might be between those three.
And how fun are they to watch? Like, this is so cool when you have players with three really different styles, three really different golf swings going head to head. And I think perhaps Lydia might have the advantage here this week just because you need to keep it on the fairways. And I think, you know, the longer hitters this week are going to have to scale it back a little bit off the tee just to make sure that they hit those fairways. So having said that, Lids, new caddy on the bag this week. It's going to be interesting to see, you know, that dynamic play out on the golf course, and it will make it an impact.
That has been the talk of the lead up to this tournament, the change of caddy. Lydia Ko parting company with Jason Hamilton, who's been there throughout her career with all these victories. What's the scuttlebutt in the locker room regarding that?
Well, it's always a bit of a big shake-up. You know, it was kind of like a Brangelina breakup or something like that. But, you know, these decisions aren't made lightly, and they're usually made by a team of people. I'm sure it's very rare that, you know, it's something just between the player and the caddy. And I think that, you know, I'm sure they parted ways amicably, but it'll be interesting to see. She's got a new caddy on the bag from the Asian Tour, so see that dynamic play out.
You mentioned if it clicks for her straight away, this course lends itself to her style of play. Not the longest player on tour, quite obviously. It's the same grass, Sea Passpalum, they played on last week at the Blue Bay LPGA in China. So similar conditions, steamy once again as well. What do you have to do well, apart from hit fairways around here, to be in contention?
They're massive greens, so I think, you know, the good putters on tour are going to play well. Usually when the greens are smaller, it really leans on your ball striking a little bit more, particularly for the iron players, and you usually see a ball striker win. Whereas this week, I think it's going to really hone in. Like, Lids is the #1 putter on tour. She knows what she's doing with the flat stick, and I think she could be in the mix.
It's a remarkably deep field this week. 19 of the top 25 players in the world taking part, but it is week 5 of this Asian swing in trying conditions at times, very warm, very steamy. How are the players feeling coming into this week?
This week's a grind, and everyone's kind of talking about the fact that after Blue Bay, it really took a lot of steam out of the girls' sails, and I think with the typhoon, a couple of travel issues last week, everyone's a little testy at the moment. But I think, you know, you just really need to stay patient out on a golf course like this, because you can't take too many chances here. You know, you have to be patient. You have to play tee to green golf, and can't get ahead of yourself at all.
Now, some of the wild cards worthy of mentioning. Michelle Wee will be here, and along with Yani Seng, could either of those come out of the blue and surprise, or put perhaps a good performance together?
Well, there's a reason we know the names. I think, you know, with Michelle Wee, when she's good, she's great. But I think she really needs to just have one of the best weeks of her year this week to contend. It's not a golf course that sets up well for really either of them. Off the tee, they're big hitters. So they'll have to, again, scale it back, be smart, and I don't know, whoever's holding the putts is going to be in the mix.
Have you ever played golf in gold high-top shoes?
I haven't, but I've heard they've got great ankle support, so we'll see.
We'll see if Michelle can use those gold high tops to good effect this week, right here at the TPC Kuala Lumpur. We can't wait for the 4 days of action of the Sime Darby LPGA.
Well, thanks, Woz. Thanks, Ali. And I certainly can't play golf in gold high tops because I'm 5'5", so I look pretty stupid. How do you look?
I'm 6'7",
And
in
you
my
still look
gold
silly
high
in
tops,
gold
and
high
I still
tops.
look silly. Yeah, difficult
Yes.
walking around the bunkers.
Yes, exactly. Just difficult walking, I would say. Well, Ali Whittaker has been on tour for 9 years and a great addition to our team. But let's meet another one of the crew now, and let's join Sandy McKenzie.
Well, this is something you don't see very often. A pink bunker. I'm dying to know where they got the sand from and if it's going to catch on. But the reason being, here in Malaysia, they are huge supporters of breast cancer awareness. Hence, we have the pink bunker. But we also have a lot more. We're going to talk to players. We're going to do all sorts of things. It's going to be loads of fun. And it's going to be on Live At every morning before play. So why don't you join us? You never know what you might find out. Live At each morning.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sandra. Of course, she is the lady with a finger on the pulse and in a pink bunker. You ever played out of a pink bunker?
No. I can't have any... there's nothing else to say to that.
No.
Never played out of a pink bunker, no.
Remarkable. And I tell you, another lady that's with us this year, such a sensation last year, the wonderful Kelly Latimer.
I had so much fun last year at the Sime Darby LPGA Malaysia for live at that I just had to come back and do it again. Now, the one thing that I love about this tournament is that the food and the entertainment surrounding the golf is actually absolutely amazing. So, trust me when I say that you can always trust a pregnant woman when you're looking for food. So for all the best bites and all the endless entertainment, make sure you join us for live at just before the golf starts every single morning for the best bits surrounding this wonderful tournament.
Well, Kelly Latimer certainly is a woman with drive, isn't she? A young lady that really will keep us up to date with all those things she just mentioned, and pretty big coverage this year as well. You know, Kate, we're going to a lot of places on live at.
Yes, certainly digital and also on air. And we're going to be on air each morning around the world.
Absolutely. We're 09:30 to 11 o'clock here locally. And look at all those times in LA, 18:30 to 2000. Of course, New Delhi there in India, 0700 to 09:30. Sydney, 12:30 to 1400, right in the middle of the afternoon. And for all those people following the great Lydia Ko, 14:30 to 1600 in Auckland, New Zealand. Really good. So I tell you what, Kate, you usually jump into the pool during our live ads. You've done that. We've been doing it for 4 years, and you've pretty much jumped into the pool for 4 years in a row, haven't you?
Well, I might go and do it just now.
Absolutely. So don't forget, you'll see live at. We're going to bring it to you all week. Hope you enjoy it. But before we go, here's a little taste.
Victory is sweet, but that one is probably just that little bit sweeter. The smile gives way to a few tears.